No. He's gonna put that in his mouth and become one of the 400 estimated people that die from acute salmonella. Would not put that finger in your...
Oh, you having a rough morning?
Tell me it's all gonna be okay.
It's all gonna be okay. Just give it 5 years. Year 7 or 5.
You have to choose to do something for yourself.
I planned this mom's night thing
What?
for Saturday.
You planned a mom's night?
Yes, sister.
You two were wonderfully adorable in this film.
Thank you.
Your characters were so much fun, and I was just curious, how did you two get involved in this movie? What drew you to it?
You want to go for? Okay. Kevin Downs, who's the producer and one of the actors in the film, is a friend, and he called and invited me to be in the movie, and I agreed. And then I read the script and loved it. Felt that the values of the movie sort of resonated with me because of my marriage and my life with our children, and also these young filmmakers. They're not that young, but they're hungry and they're creative and they're talented, and I like supporting people who are passionate and trying to make movies.
I was totally drawn to it because I saw myself in the role of Allie on so many levels, and I wanted to tell a story about parenthood because I had just become a parent myself, and I wanted to tell a story about what it feels like to go from a place of feeling inadequate and not enough to then coming to a place of realizing that you're okay just as you are, because I had also just experienced that in my life. So this story encompassed both of those stories that I wanted to tell. It was a match made in heaven.
What scenes would you say in this movie really rang truest to you as a parent, would you say? Or the one you
It's hard to choose which scene rang the most true as a parent, because they were all told, written by people who are husbands and parents, and performed by people who have children. So they all kind of, I don't know if does anyone stick out for you? Like,
I mean, the closet scene between me and Sean at the beginning of the movie rang really true for me, because I actually had an experience like that a week into shooting our movie with my husband. I was so exhausted and so stressed out and felt I had so much mommy guilt because I had barely seen my son all week, and there was a babysitter taking care of him all week, and I just felt like all these things, like I was not being enough for anybody, not enough for my husband, not enough for my son, but that's how I felt. And I wound up in the walk-in closet of our apartment that we were staying in, crying. I don't even know how I got there, and we had just shot this scene, and my husband walks in, he's like, oh, and I'm like, ah. And he gives me this hug, and he's like, so is this kind of like the scene you just shot? And I was like, and then we just started laughing hysterically, and that kind of broke the tension. But yeah, man, I felt everything that Allie felt in that moment.
That's great. Well, it definitely shows, I have to say. And
the bowling alley scene at the end, which is a normal setting, and normal things were happening, and grown-ups were speaking in a grown-up way to each other, and yet the kids are doing what the kids are doing. I definitely had a feeling in that scene like this resonates as legit.
Great. And then Sean, the dislocated shoulder gag.
Yeah.
Was that an homage of sorts to Lethal Weapon?
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yes. I see myself actually as a Mel Gibson type, and so watching him perform the dislocation scene, I felt like it was really important for society to reconnect. Sorry. I'm just kidding. No, I was very aware of that.
Whose credit cards did this all go on? Oh, no. You are never wearing those over my dead body, and my credit cards won't work if I'm dead.
Terrific job. I really liked watching this film.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have a wonderful gift for comedy, and it shows right here as well.
You.
And I was just curious, what specifically drew you to want to do this film?
A couple of things. I love feature live action comedies, and there aren't a lot that the whole family can go see. And having 4 kids, we like to take them to movies together. And as much as I love Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, anything with spaceships, I'd like to be able to take the kids to, go with them to something that's just sort of a family comedy.
Right.
And most of those are animated movie these days, so to have a live action one is great. I also loved it that it was just this real celebration of moms, and they didn't talk down to moms, and they're not caricatures of moms. Mom's Night Out is a huge, hilarious love letter to moms. And it's also about how important it is for their dads, the husband, their partners to support them. So I think those were all the things. And there's one physical bit that my character goes through. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but when I saw that, I said I have to figure out some way to do this movie.
Yes, I know which part you mean. That's
Yes.
just great. But yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of movies about mothers recently, which is great.
Yes.
You know, be it single mothers or mothers who are still married. And how gratifying is it to be in a movie that celebrates motherhood?
I think that it's really important, and for me, the most important thing, the number one thing, it has to be entertaining. It has to be funny. You say you're going to do comedy, then you better have a lot of laughs in it. So that's the number one thing. And I think that's a way, because I'm not a message movie person. I just like to entertain people.
Right.
But I think even with like the show The Middle that I do on ABC, when you have, you've brought the audience in and they have empathy with your characters and you've made them laugh, and then you can really start talking about some of those meaningful themes about the importance of moms, the importance of what they do for their kids, how to let go of perfection and just enjoy your life, not be hard on yourself. Those kinds of things come through.
Right, absolutely. And the moment your husband Dave has where someone asks him if he's English and he says, no, BBC, I got the accent.
Yeah.
Is that something he came up with?
I
or is
think,
that...
yes, because we both came onto the movie not just as actors but as producers, and we were able to kind of put a lot of stuff in the movie that they had written that part for Dave, but they were kind of leaving it to him to kind of bring his British sensibility to it, so he was able to do that. And for my character, Sandra, I play a pastor's wife, and when I first read it, there wasn't a lot of vulnerability, or I didn't know what her struggles were. I said, what's her internal struggle? I see what the others are, but I don't see hers. So I kind of had to go into that and look at that and sort of bring that into the movie. And what was interesting is when I did some investigating about pastors' wives, and the number one word they used to describe themselves is lonely. Because they are sort of behind the scenes person, their husband's the star, and they're kind of making everything work behind the scenes, and people come to them with all their problems, but they have no one they can talk to, because they can't go to a member of the congregation and say, oh, my husband's such a jerk, he's the pastor. So that was kind of interesting to me, and I try to kind of bring some of that into the movie of like, here's a person who has to keep it all together and keep up this facade, and yet she's got her issues too, and let's see if she can become vulnerable in this movie also.
Okay, so here's the plan. We take them inside, get their hands stamped, and they can't get out. Like Shawshank Redemption.
Bones, my baby.
I called Caprice, and Caprice said she'd take him.
Where's the van?
I had tonight playing out differently in my mind.
We got a baby to find. Hank, where's the baby?
I don't know. Allie, it's me. Just wanted to let you know that everything's going great here. We're all good. We're going to take a little trip to the hospital.
Life is about finding the meaning and the joy and the purpose in all the chaos.
Hon, your job.
It's hard, I know.
Important. That's what I was going to say.
That's my van! Get the van! The van! This has been the worst night ever. I honestly don't know how it could get any worse.
Stand down!
How dare you? My husband is pastor.
Sir, they just came in here and started... That was an accident.